Hey everyone. I am so excited that you're here joining me in my masterclass for how to stay positive. This is something that's so important because life happens and it can kick your butt. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it can create the perfect storm, right? When it rains, it pours. Now, I can't wait to go over this with you, but before I do, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. I've gone through my share of hardships. I lost my mother at a fairly young age. Most recently, in the past 3 years, I've been called an orphan. After losing my dad, one was drawn out sickness, with death being something that we waited for as a family. The other, extreme opposite of losing someone just abruptly. Both traumatizing, full of grief, and life altering. They were also very different, from planning one to the other being a surprise. What this means for you is I know what it's like to feel hopeless. I've walked through a lot of dark feelings, but most happened within the tiny voice in my head that no one else could hear. I suffered through the what ifs, broken records, the replays, and images that were seared in my mind. I went from days where getting out of the bed felt impossible to overcoming and finding joy. I'm living out my pain through purpose. It's not something that was easy, the journey, but I'm thankful that I didn't do it alone. During these hardships and others woven between them, I started seeking how to find happiness again. It felt like a mission that I tried to document so I could crack the formula and share with others. I know what it's like to not know what your next step is. Now I'm here to break it down for you so you can power up your positivity in any situation and unleash your true potential. There is nothing holding you back, and that's why my 4-step formula is going to be here to support you every step of the way. So, when you feel hopeless and when you feel like all is lost and when you're given up, I am that support, that strength, that buoy for you so that you don't have to feel miserable as long as I did, right? Now, the first thing that I want you to understand before we move forward is your brain has two jobs. The first is to keep you safe. The second is to prove you right. Talk to your brain instead of listening. Right? Our brain's going to tell us all of these things. And here's what I need you to start doing. I need you to talk to your brain and say, thank you, brain, for doing your job and trying to keep me safe. I'm good. Okay? This is going to help change the direction in which you're able to go. Now, I'm going to teach you the positivity model by Dr. Paul Jenkins. This is a great tool to have, understand, and utilize as we practice powering up your positivity. So I'm going to show you where we're starting. We all start here. What it is. It's in the middle. You've got two arrows extending from both sides. So let's talk about this really quickly. It is what it is. Does that feel dismissive, affirming, annoying, reassuring? Depending on your position or perspective. But for tonight, right now, and what I want you to start seeing, we're going to view what it is just where you are, the here and now. Whatever it is neutral. It just is. Now, when we do that, we're entering the first step. Step 1. Taking our situation, our circumstance, and just neutralizing it. It is what it is. We're going to quickly go to step number 2. This is going to be our evaluation process. Now, in the evaluation process, this is something you can't turn off. Your body's going to do it regardless. But when we know about it, we're able to help guide our body. Okay. So it's how we understand what it is so we can deal with it. Now, you are never wrong with how you feel. In order to judge what it is as good or bad, our mind imagines something better or worse. So if you are writing this model down, which I highly suggest, I'm going to add that to our arrows. What it is. Our imagination to make it, this is neutral. Our imagination to make it better or worse is going to tell us if it's good or bad. Okay. Now, when we look at something better, we're evaluating what it is to something better. This is going to give you a negative feeling. It's the woulda, shoulda, coulda happen that leads to sadness, disappointment, failure, inadequacy, discouragement, depression. You get it, right? This is all based on what isn't. This could be something we prefer, but doesn't actually exist. Let's take an example from my story earlier, the loss of a loved one. That's what it is, step 1. Now, my evaluation, I can go one or two ways. I'm going to talk about right now, I'm going to think about something better. My mom should be here to see me get married. She should be here for my kids to be the grandma. Okay. You can see how that's going to start making me feel pretty crummy, pretty mad, maybe even frustrated that she's not. This is something that doesn't exist, but it's something I would prefer. I'm comparing my situation to something better. I want to take you to the other side of worse. And if you are picking up what I'm putting down, you are going to see when we take what it is and we think of something worse than what we're dealing with right now, it's going to make us feel better. We're going to get a positive feeling. Okay. Now, this imagined scenario of something worse gives the feelings of happiness. It is natural and immediate outcome or consequence of realizing that the things could be worse. I would say my thought goes immediately to my mom still being alive, but bedridden, unable to live her life the way she wanted, in excruciating pain. Oh, good Lord. That makes me feel better. She's not living a life she would not be okay living. And I would be sad for her to live that life too. So you can see how we can utilize this evaluation process and how we choose the better or worse to compare what it is. Anything better or anything worse than what it is all imagined. That might sting a little, but I want you to know that this gives us some control over how we feel in any situation because we choose which to evaluate. It can always be better, and it can always be worse. Worse creates feelings of gratitude, joy, encouragement, happiness, or success. Choosing to feel better now actually happens now, not after the circumstances change for the better. That's good news. Which leads me to our third step. We've gone through evaluation, and now we get to go into creation. So I'm going to throw creation up on the top of my board here. Creation is what is to be. Imagination is essential to creation. We get to choose our direction and intent as we launch into creation mode for a new what it is. What do you want to create? When we look at our new creation model, we're going to think about something that's better. And guess what that's going to do? It's going to make us feel better. This gives us feelings of hope, excitement, eagerness. These are all good feelings. These good feelings happen now. They don't happen after the circumstance gets better. Exercising imagination is taking aim. We see it, we feel it, we believe it, and what we intend to create, this becomes more clearly, constructively, and positive as we imagine something better than. The more precise the aim, the more quickly we are at getting to our desired outcomes. Now, I know you guys are so smart. You're picking up on we're going to the other side, right? The worse than what comes negative, right? So we think of creating something worse. This is going to create the fear, the anxiety, the nervousness. These feelings happen now, not after things get worse, which may never happen. Why do we do that to ourselves? Would you do something to make your life worse on purpose? Sometimes it happens without conscious thought or choice. Let's recap, because this is an essential tool that we all can benefit from and the proper use of it. So we've gone through step 1, 2, and 3. We've talked about what it is as neutral. We've evaluated it and seeing how the evaluation can either be a positive or negative, the better or worse. And then we were able to go into creation mode of what is to be. Again, applying that same principle. Now, step 4. Do you see what I see? When we evaluate something to be better than what we're going through, we're going to create a worse what it is to be. This can get messy. That's what we're doing here. Our imagination is a tool that creates masterpieces or messy. We have 2 jobs, evaluation and creation. Here, you're going to see what I'm going to call the positivity vector. Okay, now when we matched up the negative to negative, negative evaluation equals negative creation. Now, it's going to take that what it is and make it more likely to be an even bigger mess of what is to be. You're setting yourself up for that. Now, what it is sets up the creation of what it is to be. Our aim, what we want to be practicing to power up our positivity, is this positivity vector. Okay. How to stay positive in any given situation. We are going to take what it is. We are going to evaluate something that could be worse. And we're going to move into creation and being able to create what it is to be is something better. And that's that positivity vector that we're constantly working for, aiming for, practicing. It's progress, progression. It's a tool that we're able to bring our conscious mind to, raise our awareness to see where we at in evaluation mode. That's going to determine our creation mode. Okay. When our thinking is right, our abilities will catch up. Put yourself in the position of having the power in choice. This is your mind's simple and efficient way to create a more extraordinary life. Now, let me warn you, this is probably going to happen. Your thoughts get loud and we default into old patterns. It's normal. But you can do it. With practice, you can train your brain to create a positive life you love like I have. I'm going to give you a call to action. This is something I want you to do. It's called the gratitude triple play. This is above and beyond your regular gratitude list. It's something that I do want you to write down so you can visually see and have a record of. It's a 3-day experiment. And in those 3 days, I want you to find 3 things to be grateful for. Now, there are a couple rules. They cannot repeat. What you have for day 1 cannot be on day 2 and day 3. They all have to be something different, something new. You get 1 freebie. These are the nice, wonderful things. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping, right? I'm grateful for those things. But those are kind of easy, yeah? The other 2 need to be trash things. Yeah. The difficult or challenging things. And I need you to find gratitude within that. Let's go back to the loss of a loved one, my mom. She had cancer. Am I grateful for cancer? Heck no. But if I crack cancer open and I dig through and I start looking for things that because of cancer, I was able to find, there's some gratitude in there. The way that I am showing up as a mother today is because of losing my mom. And I'm grateful that I'm able to love in a way that I might not have had this not happened to me. I am grateful for that. It's given me an opportunity as a mom to do something that I might not have done if I still had my mom here. Okay, so those are the things that we're looking for. I want you to write them down. Bonus if you share them with me. I think that's amazing and very encouraged. Now, if you're someone who resonated with this and you want more help solving this, and you know I'm someone that can help you, I'm so excited because I've got the best news ever for you right now. Because you came to my live masterclass, I've got a gift. And I'm going to drop it here in the chat right now. Okay. Good. If you got something out of this, I want to offer you a call with me to help sort through if you still have questions. I would love to chat with you one-on-one. Go ahead, click that link. You can schedule a free discovery call with me, and we can go over and apply this model in real time. So you can get the feel of how this works, and we can see how it can serve you better and work together. This is going to be so amazing. I cannot wait to connect with you. And I thank you so much for showing up for yourself and exploring new ways to help move you forward to make and create the life that you deserve. You are worthy, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Thanks so much for coming, and I look forward to our next chat. Bye, guys.